Jey Uso leaks what Triple H and Paul Heyman did in the Bloodlines room. A real-life Bloodline member ate superstars backstage. A major Raw star announces break from WWE. Wyatt family member one step closer to a WWE return. WWE is waiting for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's approval to make major releases. WWE reportedly warned fans about photos and spoilers at a recent event. Jimmy Uso isn't on Jey Uso's level. Rikishi asks for prayers for Jimmy Uso. The Bloodline has a major problem with its new members. And more. Let's dive right in. A major Raw star announces break from WWE. It's a sad reality that no superstar escapes the drawbacks of WWE's grueling schedule. The former women's tag team champion Asuka has announced she will be taking a break from WWE to heal up a knee injury. Despite nursing a knee injury for weeks, the Empress of Tomorrow competed at Backlash France in a losing effort to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. In her latest vlog titled "See You Again," Asuka revealed she has taken a break from WWE following Backlash. The former women's champion expressed gratitude to partners Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai for helping her through a seemingly painful phase. Even though Asuka faced troubles in her movement, the 42-year-old superstar wrestled at the most recent PLE and was glad she had the support of her damaged C-Trell teammates. Here's what Asuka put out while confirming she was taking some much-needed time off. After the backlash of my European tour, I had to take a break to treat my knee that I had been hurting for a while. My partners Kairi, Sane, and Dakota Kai helped me a lot during this tour as I could not move at my best. I am very grateful to both of them. The former NXT Women's Champion was forced to miss a few live events in March after it was reported Asuka hurt her knee during an episode of SmackDown. Like several talents, Asuka apparently continued working with the injury and, along with Kairi Sane, defended the Women's Tag Team Championship at Backlash France. The Kabuki Warriors dropped the titles to Belair and Cargill in France. However, Asuka was later advertised for the Queen of the Ring tournament. Eventually, Dakota Kai was brought in as a replacement for the Empress of Tomorrow, who, as things stand, will be away from TV to recover from a problematic knee injury. Wyatt family member one step closer to a WWE return. The WWE Universe continues to buzz in anticipation of a major storyline that some believe could be one of the most unique in pro wrestling history. However, another big happening is rumored to take place soon as the company's close to bringing back a former member of the Wyatt family. The late great Bray Wyatt and his family ran rampant through World Wrestling Entertainment for several years. Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee, tragically passed away on December 20th, 2020, and Wyatt, aka Wyndham Rotunda, likewise passed on August 24th, 2023. Braun Strowman is currently signed to WWE, and Eric Rowan reportedly re-signed earlier this month after a 4-year hiatus. Rowan's return was reported amid rumors of WWE planning a major Wyatt-themed faction. While his new contract has not been confirmed, multiple sources report that the 42-year-old has been at the Performance Center this week. Backstage sources now report that officials brought Rowan to Orlando to prepare for his return, according to Fightful Select. The former Eric Redbeard underwent a physical at the Performance Center and has been training in the ring. Rowan has not wrestled for the company since Raw on March 9th, 2020. The 21-year veteran lost to Drew McIntyre in 2 minutes that night. Braun Strowman returned to World Wrestling Entertainment in September 2022 after being released from his original contract on June 2nd, 2021, along with other budget cuts. The monster of all monsters was teaming with Ricochet and was drafted to Raw right before he took time off in May 2023 to undergo neck fusion surgery 2 months later. He immediately began training for his return and upgraded his look. Strowman made his surprise return on April 29th of this year during Night 2 of the 2024 draft, helping Jey Uso deal with the Judgment Day and Logan Paul. The segment included star players from the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs. Strowman has not wrestled a TV match since returning in the draft. However, he did defeat Shinsuke Nakamura in a post-SmackDown Dark match on May 10th. We is waiting for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's approval to make major releases. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's last appearance in WWE was on the Raw after WrestleMania. He met Cody Rhodes in the ring and informed the fans that he would be gone for a while before clarifying to the American Nightmare that the latter's issues with the final boss were far from over. WrestleMania XL was a huge success for WWE. The show was headlined by Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and The Rock on both nights. While the final boss scored a pinfall victory over Rhodes on the first night, Cody managed to vanquish the Bloodline and become undisputed WWE champion the following night. Per PW Insider, the Stamford-based promotion's decision to release the WrestleMania XL documentary is halted only because the final approval has to come from Johnson. Be that as it may, the report also added that the behind-the-curtain edition will be out soon. Even with several drastic changes the company had to make during the build-up to the show, owing to unforeseen events involving top players such as CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania XL still managed to become the highest-grossing edition in the event's history. The Rock and Cody Rhodes' segment on the Raw after WrestleMania left many viewers perplexed. Some even called it awkward, as it was not revealed what the legendary wrestler handed to Rhodes before walking away. During a quick interview alongside Triple H, the American Nightmare spoke candidly about who he would like to face in the immediate future. He brought up the final boss. "I'd be remiss, I don't want to just leave it out there, but I didn't get any closure on the situation with The Rock, particularly with him giving me something back that was something he should have kept. And I feel that closure in wrestling. That's one of the beautiful things about sports entertainment. Wrestling, WWE. If you think that closure is going to happen, stay tuned, it might. But it might happen in a very different way. So I look forward to his return," Cody Rhodes said. Speculations have run rampant as to when the bout will happen. WrestleMania Vegas is too far away, according to many. There are plenty of international shows happening in 2024, and of course, the biggest event not named WrestleMania, SummerSlam. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray believes The Rock could return for the event, setting up another match for next year's show of shows. We reportedly warned fans about photos and spoilers at a recent event. WWE has been known to protect its products through various means. This includes cracking down on videos and photos from the crowd, especially at TV tapings. Backstage sources have revealed what fans were warned about at a show this week. NXT taped 2 episodes on Tuesday at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, FL. This week's show aired on a slight tape delay, while the May 23rd episode was taped in full for main roster-related reasons, revealed by sources earlier today. Correspondents in attendance noted that the NXT arena was packed for the latest stop on the road to Battleground. Fans entering the Performance Center for NXT this week were informed by security that they were only to take still photos of the taping, not video. Fightful Select adds that NXT Level Up announcer Blake Howard took the mic in between the shows and asked fans to avoid spoiling the episode for other people. There have been reports of WWE ejecting fans and reprimanding them for tweeting live spoilers or videos during tapings, mainly at NXT shows. This was a hot topic of discussion in 2021 and more recent years, but it was a significant issue among fans during the Full Sail University days. The inaugural WWE NXT Women's North American Champion will be crowned at the 2024 Battleground PLE on Sunday, June 9th in Las Vegas. 2 superstars have officially qualified for the 6-way ladder match at Battleground. Sol Ruka defeated Izzy Dame on this week's show, while Lash Legend defeated Ivy Nile. Next week's taped episode will feature Jida Parker versus Brinley Reese, plus Fallon Henley versus Thea Hale. The final 4 competitors to participate in qualifying matches on the live May 28th episode are Mia Yim, Kalani Jordan, Ren Sinclair, and Tatum Paxley. NXT General Manager Ava announced the new championship at Stand and Deliver last month, and she is expected to present the inaugural champion live at Battleground. Original plans for the title were recently disclosed. WWE officials reportedly high up on popular rookie superstar. WWE has what is regarded by many as the best developmental system in the pro wrestling industry. A promising name joined the company a while back and is already on his way to being a top superstar. Javon Evans is quickly becoming one of NXT's fan favorites. Previously known as Jay Malachi, the 21-year-old began his career in early 2018. He worked a WWE tryout last September and was signed around the same time as 2 other indie standouts, Brogan Finley and Lucky Ali. A new report from Fightful Select indicates that Evans's future is looking bright. Sources noted that NXT officials continue to hold him in high esteem. The Triple H-led company is expected to continue his push, which is supported by Big E. Interestingly, WWE named this week's NXT episode after Evans, using his nickname. The name for the May 14 episode was listed as The Rise of the Young OG internally. The former DPW World Champion is working with Trick Williams, assisting the NXT champion in his feud with Meta 4. The program will continue next week, as revealed in detailed NXT spoiler results. The 5'7" high flyer made his in-ring debut at the Level Up tapings on February 6th, losing to Brooks Jensen. Evans won his next match 3 weeks later, defeating Javier Bernal. WWE aired a teaser vignette for the young OG at Wyatt Stand and Deliver 2024, and later that week, he won his main show debut over Scripps. He lost to Ilya Dragunov on April 16th, but defeated Oro Mensah on this week's packed NXT episode. Evans has worked 5 level-up matches, with 3 wins, 14 live event matches, with 8 wins, and 3 TV matches with 2 victories. Under the tutelage of Shawn Michaels, William Regal, and Matt Bloom, the star's future indeed looks bright. Jimmy Uso isn't on Jey Uso's level. Jey Uso has turned into a top star in WWE after leaving the Bloodline, while Jimmy Uso was kicked out of the stable recently. Former WWE superstar Ryback believes Jimmy has what it takes to reach Jey's level in terms of star power. On a recent episode of Ryback TV, the former Intercontinental Champion praised the Yeet Master for becoming a main event level superstar. Ryback then followed it up by saying that Jimmy can also reach that level as long as they are on different brands. The veteran wrestler even called Jimmy talented enough to make it work. Jimmy Uso just hasn't done it to the degree Jey Uso has yet. Can Jimmy do it? Absolutely. The guy is beyond talented. They're the Usos, both great individuals. He just needs to. He needs whatever it is, who he is. Something needs to come out and he can be on the other brand doing his thing. He has all the potential to be just as over as Jey, Ryback said. Jey Uso is currently thriving on Raw and is now in the semi-finals of the King of the Ring tournament. On the other hand, Jimmy Uso has been absent since Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa kicked him out of the Bloodline. The main reason why Jimmy Uso was written out of WWE television was due to an undisclosed injury. It's unclear when Jimmy's return to the ring, but he's expected to be out indefinitely. Jimmy's father and Hall of Famer, Rikishi, acknowledged his absence and recovery on the latest episode of the Off the Top podcast. Rikishi even hinted at what's next for Mr. No Yeet. I have no doubt that, even when Jimmy comes back, if he decides to move forward on his own, these boys are already prepped for singles competition. They're prepped for entertainment. They're prepped for, for the main event, and the only thing stopping was just an opportunity, Rikishi said. Rikishi asks for prayers for Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso hasn't been seen on WWE TV since last month, when he was attacked by Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa and was removed from the Bloodline. This came after his WrestleMania loss to Jey Uso was seen as a major problem by the Enforcer. It was later reported that Uso was suffering from a real-life injury, which was the reason for his recent absence. His father, Rikishi, recently shared an interesting update about the former champion, requesting WWE fans to pray for Jimmy. It's unclear how long Jimmy Uso will be out of action following his injury, but it seems that a new bloodline has formed in his absence, and this latest update doesn't bode well for the former champion. Uso's brother, Main Event Jey, is in the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament, while his cousin, Roman Reigns, hasn't been seen since his WrestleMania loss, which leaves the original bloodline in an interesting position. Roman Reigns' future doesn't look too bright at the moment. Solo Sikoa has taken leadership of the bloodline in his absence, recently claiming it was at the tribal chief's behest. Many fans don't believe he has had contact with the tribal chief, who is now a free agent after dropping out of the draft a few weeks ago. Many fans believe Roman Reigns will look to reunite the original bloodline when he returns to WWE TV to combat Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. As of now, it's unknown when he will return, but the story seems to be heading in that direction. There is also the wild card of Jacob Fatu seemingly heading towards the Stamford-based promotion, and it's not clear how he will fit into the storyline. It will be interesting to see if Fatu joins forces with the former Universal Champion in the future. Jey Uso leaks what Triple H and Paul Heyman did in the Bloodlines room. Jey Uso opened up on Triple H and Paul Heyman's equation in the Bloodlines room. He's also detailed how that changed things for him personally. Jey is in the middle of the strongest singles run of his career. He has been difficult to stop, even beating the indefatigable Ilya Dragunov on Raw to proceed to the next round of the King of the Ring tournament. With the crowd firmly behind him, Jey's popularity has reached atmospheric levels now. The star has opened up in an interview on the Daily Mail about how Triple H and Paul Heyman's presence in the Bloodline locker room, pitching ideas and brainstorming, helped him form an idea of what worked and what didn't. He talked about how they interacted with each other and how the brainstorming sessions took place. He said that in those instances, it was just the Bloodline with Heyman and the game forming ideas. He added that he has worked with Triple H as a singles star as well since, and that has helped him further. During the pandemic era, being with Hunter and Heyman in the room, just with the Bloodline, just us, going over and spitting ideas. I learned all that, and now I apply it on my own. And then working with Hunter right now as a single competitor, it's cool. I feel like I finally, earned that respect now, and it's all love. Working with experts in any field can help, and that appears to be the case with Jey. In the same interview, he spoke about how he made sure to bring the energy. He added to his previous statement about the game and Heyman, saying that their influence made him not anxious anymore. Work seems easier right now. All that worrying stuff, being anxious all the time, it's out the way. Now I just go out there and if I'm on the card that night, I make sure I'm bringing energy. That's just my thing. I just want to dial it up. During the show when I come out, I feel like there's a spike here. Even if you never watched wrestling, it was like, all right, who's he? He's got to be a main player. It remains to be seen if Jey can defeat Gunther and head into the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. The Bloodline has a major problem with its new members. With Roman Reigns temporarily out of the WWE picture, the Bloodline may be heading to a decline in prominence, or so a veteran thinks. Since WrestleMania 40, the once dominant faction has gone through a major overhaul. Solo Sikoa has taken over the proverbial ship and brought in 2 new members, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, as well as kicked out Jimmy Uso. Furthermore, there are also rumors of Jacob Fatu joining the faction soon. Speaking on Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Outlaws, Vince Russo explained his worries. You're gonna have all these Samoans coming in, and you know right now you got these 2 new guys and you got Solo Sikoa. And bro, these is what their characters are gonna be. They're Samoans. You are not gonna know one from the other. They are not gonna have different character traits. They are not gonna have different personalities. They are all gonna be killer Samoans. So that is why, bro, nobody is going to care. According to NWA star EC3, building individual characters is essential in the pro wrestling business. On the same episode of The Wrestling Outlaws, EC3 agreed with Vince Russo's words and added that the influx of new Bloodline members could turn out to be a failure if they were not developed well in WWE. I think it's really important to introduce talent and allow them to at least develop some semblance of a personality, a unique individuality, or nobody is ever going to care. So if there is a constant swarm and they are all mindless drones, I think Vince is right. Where there is a Roman, there is a Rock, and then there's nobody else we care about. As of now, it remains to be seen what is next for the Bloodline in WWE. A real-life Bloodline member ate superstars backstage. A WWE Hall of Famer recently told a story about a real-life member of the Bloodline. It involves toughness and fights, which would lead to the star being feared backstage. In an interview with Wrestling Shoot Interviews, Larry Zbyszko was asked about his most memorable backstage fight. Zbyszko then shared the High Chief Peter Maivia's tactics when it comes to fights. The veteran stated that The Rock's grandfather liked to bite and eat his opponent in a brawl, which is why he was feared back then. Zbyszko recalled 2 instances where the High Chief got into a fight and used his teeth as a weapon. The first one was a brawl with fellow wrestler Billy Robinson, and the other one was with a truck driver. What he would do was eat you. He would be biting chunks of flesh out of your chest with these giant teeth. Billy Robinson takes him down. The next thing you know, Billy Robinson is screaming, "Oh my God, get him off me, get him off!" And the shirt's all bloody and there is skin hanging, and I seen Maivia do this to a trucker in a truck stop, Zbyszko said.